Message. Bereshit, Genesis 44:18 to 47:27. Haftarah, Yechezk'el, Ezekiel 37:15 to 28. Berit Hadashah suggested Acts 7:9 to 18, specifically verses 17 to 18, and Romans 11. Vayigash elav Yehuda, ve'omer bi'aroni yidaber na, avreka davar be'ozni Adoni, ve'al yacher afecha ve'avdecha, ki kamocha ke-Pharaoh. Then Yehuda approached Yosef and said, "Please, my lord, let your servant say something to you privately, and don't be angry with your servant, for you are like Pharaoh himself." Introduction. Torah. At the end of last week's Parsha, Yosef accused his brothers of stealing his goblet. He then sent for them to be brought back to him. His brothers still did not know that he was Yosef. He would keep the youngest brother for having the cup placed in his possession. When Yaakov stood before Yosef, he said, "Please, my lord, let your servant say something to you privately, and don't be angry with your servant, for you are like Pharaoh himself." Complete Jewish Bible. Judah, could not return to Israel, Yaakov, without the youngest son, who became his new favorite since he lost Yosef and thought he was dead. Hearing this, Yehuda said this, "Will bring the gray hair of your servant our father down to Sheol with grief." Complete Jewish Bible. This suggested hearing it might kill him. At last, Yosef could no longer control his feelings in front of his attendants and cried, "Get everyone away from me." So no one else was with him when Yosef revealed to his brothers who he was. Complete Jewish Bible. He also told them he forgave them, saying he did not hold it against them, saying, "Because it was God who sent me ahead of you to preserve life." Complete Jewish Bible. Yosef acted according to his faith in what Adonai had revealed to him. His brothers who made enemies of themselves to him, he forgave, and his feelings for them were visible to them and his attendants. This is a powerful beginning in this parsha. When his brothers returned to Israel, he then did not believe what they told him until he saw the wagon loads of finest goods. Then they returned with him to Egypt, and Yosef did this. Then Yosef said to the people, "As of today I have acquired you and your land for Pharaoh. Here is seed for you to sow the land. When harvest time comes, you are to give 20% to Pharaoh. 80% will be yours to keep for seed to plant in the fields, as well as for your food and for that of your households and your little ones." It was according to the purpose of Adonai. Haftarah. In the Haftarah, we also see there is a divine plan to keep the children of Israel united. The Torah portion showed how when the children of Israel, Yaakov, tried to remove Yosef from the family, the divine will of Adonai prevailed, and the descendants of Israel remained in Egypt until Adonai came for them. Yechezk'el, Ezekiel, prophesied for Adonai, saying, "I will take the stick of Yosef, which is in the hand of Ephraim, together with the tribes of Israel who are joined with him, and put them together with the stick of Yehuda, and make them a single stick, so that they become one in my hand." This is the will of Adonai, according to the Complete Jewish Bible, Yechezk'el and the Haftarah. Berit Hadashah. As the time drew near for the fulfillment of the promise God had made to Abraham, the number of our people in Egypt increased greatly until there arose another king over Egypt who had no knowledge of Yosef. Complete Jewish Bible. But Adonai continued and continues to support Israel, and even today blesses his descendants. The covenant with Moshe continued in the 1st century. It continues today in the 21st century. Rabbi Shaul Paul says in Romans, I myself am a son of Yisrael, from the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin. Complete Jewish Bible. He also described Gentiles as wild branches grafted into the olive tree, tree of life, as the people of Israel, and warns Gentiles, moreover, the others, or Jewish people, if they do not persist in their lack of trust, will be grafted in, because God is able to graft them back in. For if you were cut out of what is by nature a wild olive tree and grafted, contrary to nature, into a cultivated olive tree, how much more will these natural branches be grafted back into their own olive tree? Complete Jewish Bible. Gentile believers do not replace Jewish people in the eyes of Adonai. They share the blessings from the covenant with Moshe through faith and righteous action. Conclusions. Torah tells us how we are molded and guided by the will of Adonai. The will of Adonai for his people is to keep us together. When we do not always do as he needs, he brings us back together and rewards those of us who have faith and in his will and try to be obedient to his instructions. He also blesses our efforts so that they are even more effective. This is a process of ongoing creation that has continued in the modern times and will continue for as long as it is his will. May you all be guided to a good week and a Shabbat Shalom.